That's the one we're doing. That is it. So I saw those the other day. I saw those and we have it wrapped.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
My name is Sue Young, and I am with the Misty Mountain Quilters Guild, Quilts of Valor group. And with me today are Linda Gorman, and you know Nikki. We are here today because there's a very special person that we would like to honor today with a Quilt of Valor. Our mission as Quilt of Valor Quilters is to honor our combat service members and veterans who have been touched by war with a Quilt of Valor. We know that the debt that we owe our military members can never be repaid, but we have come here today to honor and thank this veteran for her honorable service. For those of you who don't know a whole lot about Quilts of Valor, it is a grassroots organization of thousands of quilters in every single state of the Union and some overseas as well. When Catherine Roberts, who is a nurse, midwife, and quilter, in 2003 knew that her son was about to deploy, she thought, well, she had like a vision of covering our soldiers with a Quilt of Valor that would remind them of home and love and country. So she made a red, white, blue, and gold quilt in her sewing room in Delaware. And it was given to a newly returned soldier at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. And as all of you know, quilters are not often quiet about some really good things that we do. So she told a friend, and that friend told a friend, and that friend told a friend, and they all told more friends. And they now have started this movement that is Quilt of Valor Quilters that are spread all across the U.S., like I said, and overseas. Since those first quilts that Catherine and her friends made, I just checked the website yesterday, more than 169,823 Quilts of Valor have been awarded to soldiers, sailors, Marines, and those who have been touched by war. And there are many veterans from World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and of course the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. They have been sent overseas, and they have been presented to veterans here at home. Now, we would like to have a poem read that will kind of explain what Quilts of Valor really is and why we do this. It was written by, yeah, that one is, I think, by Bill Beechwood. Yeah.
It says, when we rise each glorious day, the sun we always greet. We ponder what the day will bring and the challenges we meet. With ever bold and steadfast hearts, our challenges we embrace. Neither daunted by the foes before us, nor dragons we will face. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, these are no mere prattle. The freedom for which we battle. Through the day we may seem against us. We neither falter nor do we sigh, for strong is our faith in God above, ever at our side. When at least we lay down to slumber, how peaceful we do rest. For we know we've won yet another day by doing nothing but the best. And through the long nights we fought with peril, our tenets we still keep. For we have our Quilts of Valor to protect us as we sleep.
Oh, awesome.
And now Linda's going to tell you a little bit about the message that we are sending whenever we award a Quilt of Valor to a veteran. It's called our three-part message.
Right. We have a three-part message that we want to send to Miss Matty. The three-part message is meant to convey how we feel about this. If I don't put my glasses on, I'm not going to be able to read it. When any Quilts of Valor group presents a quilt, we are sending a three-part message. And I want you to know that I do a lot of the quilting, and as I'm standing there quilting, I'm thinking about anybody who has been in the service, but especially those who have been in combat. First, we honor you for your service. We honor you for your willingness to go halfway around the world and stand in harm's way in a time of crisis to serve the cause of freedom. Second, our quilters know that freedom is not free. The cost of our freedom is the dedication that military men and women demonstrate. And our quilts are meant to say thank you for your many sacrifices. Each stitch is a thank you and a prayer in hope of healing the wounds of war. And finally, this quilt is meant to offer comfort to you, to offer you the warmth and comfort that memories of home and family can bring through a simple quilt in red, white, and blue fabrics. This quilt is not a medal to be put on a box or hung on the wall. It's meant to be used and loved. And as you know, the more you use them and wash them, the softer they get.
Well, some of your friends, Matty,
I made a computer the largest number of quilts in 1914, and I won this medal for the 100,000 quilts.
some of your friends have been, I think, pretty sneaky in finding out a little bit about your military history. So I'm going to read from the information that they shared with us. And this is the kind of thing that we like to put in the newspaper, so I hope that's okay with you if we do that.
All that I have done?
Well, I know, it's a whole page, and this is just the, the crib notes part here.
I'm embarrassed.
You were born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in January, I shouldn't say the year maybe, huh?
It's all right.
Okay, 1937. Matty proceeds to list a series of firsts as an individual and as a soldier. Matty worked her way through college as a seamstress, earning a Bachelor of Science degree with a minor in home economics and nutrition and diet from the University of Puerto Rico in 1959. In 1961, she completed a Master of Science in Botany or Plant Ecology at the University of Puerto Rico. Working as an assistant professor of biology for freshmen at the university, Matty then received a scholarship to Rutgers University to pursue a master's degree in textiles and tailoring. The following year, Matty met her future husband, John, and they married in 1966. The following year, John was recalled to active duty and appointed a second lieutenant in the infantry. At John's urging, Matty joined the Army in 1967. And after a 1.5-year tour in Vietnam, First Lieutenant John Porter returned to discover that Matty had received a direct appointment to First Lieutenant rank based on her education and that she outranked him. Matty's husband had 3 tours in Vietnam, and in 1968, Matty also served in Vietnam as commander of the Casualty Replacement Detachment. Matty and John then enjoyed joint tours at Fort McClellan, where she was promoted to captain and assigned as commander of HHC, the Women's Army Corps Center. And she later served at Fort Benning in Korea, Japan, Germany, and again at Fort Benning, and on an extended tour again in Germany, where she was promoted to major. Matty was then assigned to the United Kingdom and then Belgium. Matty returned to the United States to Fort Stewart, Georgia, to activate the 24th Infantry Division. Next, Matty attended the Inspector General School at the Pentagon, and upon completion, she was assigned as Deputy IG of Fort Stewart and as IG of Hunter Army Airfield. She was next selected to attend the Command and General Staff College and then assigned to the Military Personnel Center, where she was promoted to Lieutenant Colonel. An assignment at 2nd Army Headquarters in Fort Gillem was followed by an assignment to Fort Monmouth. Matty retired from active duty in 1988. Matty was recalled to active duty for the first Gulf War in 1991 and was deactivated later that year. She was promoted to full colonel in the Army Reserve after deactivation in the first Gulf War. Matty's firsts include being the first female Puerto Rican to receive a direct appointment, the first married woman to join the U.S. Army, the first to receive a direct appointment by the President of the United States, and the first Puerto Rican woman to make Lieutenant Colonel. Thank you for your honorable service, Matty Porter, and we are now going to present you with your Quilt of Valor. Come over here.
We can show you first.
First, we're gonna show Matty her quilt, which was made by Terry.
Terry. Ready?
This is troublemaker.
Isn't it beautiful? Okay, now you all get to see it.
How pretty.
Beautiful job, Terry.
Thanks. It's called Charming Stars.
Hold
Look
right.
at her standing in front of it.
Cross left. Hold on, we're not done.
I'm sorry.
There's going to be an ideal place.
Okay, hold right, drop left.
You will stand.
You have to
You have to
stand.
stand.
Disabled.
Hold on this
Oh,
way.
yeah, listen.
I forgot my,
Yeah,
forgot my book.
and along with every quilt comes a hug. Thank you for using it.
You have something else?
Yep. Along with the quilt, we have a certificate. On the back is that three-part message that Linda talked to you about. And there's quilt care instructions just in case you didn't know how to take care of quilts. And it also comes with a presentation case, that's pillowcase. And some people store them in it, but we all know that quilts are meant to be used in love, so you can use it as a pillowcase. And Terry, you made this.
I made that.
You made this also?
Yeah.
This was the original label she had put on the quilt, and then we sent her another label so she could put a Quilt of Valor official label on there, but this is just beautiful, so I'm glad you framed it.
Thank you.
Thank you again for your service.
Here, and you can sit down.
Well,
Take a picture somewhere with Linda not behind her.
Sure. Whenever Maddie's done, would you like to say something to the crowd first, Maddie?
well, thank you for the surprise. I just served my country. And I have been making quilts of valor since the foundation began. And I have made more, sometimes in 1914, I made more quilts donated by one person. And I got this medal from the Quilts of Valor because my contribution that year made the 100,000 quilts.
Oh, wow.
So you had to make 100,000 quilts to be able to get one.
She was one of the 100. And we're shooting for 200,000 now. As you
There you
can tell,
go.
we're getting close to 169,000.
100,000 quilts. The last thing that I participated, I love to do the Quilts of Valor. And I'm connected to that, you know. So in Coweta County, the next county where I was living, we decided, the group of the Quilts of Valor, we decided to find all the Second World War veterans were still alive in that county, and we found 50.
Wow.
So through the Quilts of Valor Foundation, they help us. And then we got a big challenge of making 50 quilts. But I made 5, and then we were 16 women, so we were fast as we could. And then we had this 50 old men in the church, it's at the Methodist church there. And we presented, like you're doing this, to 50 old, decrepit little old men. You know? It was so sweet. But anyway, we put in a label. I just put Matty, made by Matty. I mean, we were supposed to put your names or addresses. Well, one of them found me. I had the most beautiful letter. If I had known this, I would have brought it for you to read it. So I treasure it, you know. It was very beautiful. But thank you for this. I really don't deserve it. I was just serving my country.
Oh.
That's why you deserve it.
My husband.
Hey.